Now, if you want to be able to start off any type of conversations with your audience to paint a picture, words that you could use is imagine, or I'd like you to think about the last time when fill in the blank happened. I'd like you to think about when was the first time, the last time, the previous time, a scenario, right? You're trying to retrieve specific scenarios for your audience so that they're painting the picture in their mind.
So for a really long time, in order to reduce your Facebook ad costs, a great way is to get Facebook to do the heavy lifting for you utilizing dynamic creatives. And here's how it works. Literally, you could go to Facebook and you could say, hey, Facebook, here is 10 different images that you can use with different headlines, images, hooks, write-ups, and I would like you to find the different permutations out of these 10 different images and 3 different headlines and 3 different call to actions, and find the different combinations and permutations to decide which is the winner. Now, for a really long time, when we did that after spending multiple millions of dollars on ads, we realized that this is a great way to get Facebook to use their algorithm to figure out, hey, which is the best combination. But the downside to that is that getting the design team to come up with 10 different images and 5 different headlines and different write-ups, now that has always been a real pain until now. Now with Facebook merged with AI, and that's what this video is all about, I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes to a recent coaching session that we did to walk you through on how to use AI to come up with the different headlines and how to utilize it in your ads, as well as then integrating it into dynamic creatives. Okay, let's begin.
First submission that we have today is from Cindy. Cindy, I remember maybe your hot seat was like a couple of months ago and 2-3 months ago, right? And that was your first ever session with us. Anyway, so perhaps we can start off with Cindy. I'm going to unmute you right now. Walk us through. So what have you done since the last hot seat? What were some of the biggest feedbacks you had? What you implemented? And then we'll begin the hot seat.
Okay. Hi, Peng Joon. Hi, everyone. So my first hot seat coaching was in March, which was like 2 months ago. And then during the hot seat coaching, Peng Joon, you told me to actually improve on my Facebook ads by doing dynamic creative, increasing the number of my ads, and then also start creating retargeting ads. Yeah, I think these are the things that you told me to do. And one last thing is that you told me to actually stop making strategy calls and start watching this proven presentation formula and then switch to a 90-minute auto webinar. So for the past month, I've actually started doing on the presentation. So today I would like you to help me to take a look at my webinar structure.
Okay, so before we take a look at the webinar structure, have you launched this webinar yet? Is it live?
Not yet.
All right, okay. So since then, in that case, have you continued to utilize the dynamic creatives and retargeting into your previous funnel, which is the high ticket funnel? Is that what you've continued to do?
Yes, we are still using it.
Okay, and what has been the result of that?
Our cost per lead has reduced and we managed to identify our winning ads. Yeah, so we managed to identify some of the hooks as well. But unfortunately, for the last month, we kind of try on the different hooks, and apparently it didn't work. So our cost per lead kind of increased. But now that we have made some adjustments, so we decided to use back the previous hook that gave us the low cost. Yeah.
Okay, great. So for the benefit of everybody here, because some of them might not have been on that call that happened 2 months ago. So if we could summarize the entire thing that happened during the hot seat, what are some of the elements that worked well for you that others here that's listening on this call, if they did that thing, what was the thing that worked for you that they could benefit from?
I think what worked for us is that in the ad creative, we actually emphasize on the pain points. We actually try different angles. We use some end result. Okay, our headline is from the angle of end result or from the angle of pain points. But we realized that when we mention pain points, then people kind of relate better to us, and that actually decrease our cost per lead.
Okay, great. So for everybody else that's listening in over here, this used to be something that took a lot of time and research in order to find out, right? It used to be the case where some of you might be going, well, what's my pain point of my specific audience? And the answer to that years ago used to be, go send out an email, go to a Facebook group, go to a forum and ask what are some of the top 5, 10 struggles, frustrations that you face as fill in the blank audience. Today, that's all replaced by AI. That's literally replaced with a 5-second input inside ChatGPT that says, can you list me some of the top 10 frustrations of a real estate agent? Done, right? So what can we learn from the biggest things that Cindy did? Go find out your struggles, as well as what are some of the things that you want, their burning desires, okay? Because those are the two ends of the spectrum, okay? The two ends of the spectrum is basically, the terminology I use is vision of heaven island and the pain of hell island, right? So the most common thing people do is people always sell the vision of how beautiful it is, right? How beautiful heaven island is basically just, hey, would you like to be able to earn a 30% return on your investment, right? Would you like to be able to have more time and money and freedom, right? That's vision of heaven island. Would you like to be able to get six-pack abs? Would you like to be more confident? But the vision of heaven island will always be never nearly as powerful as the pain of hell island. And in your messaging and in your ads, it is all about also understanding the pain. And I would say that it's more important to talk about the pain than to just talk about how beautiful heaven island is. Okay, great. Cindy, anything else? So the pain points that they have, utilizing in your ads, anything else? What else do you think contributed to decreasing your cost per lead?
Started using dynamic creative, and then we push out more ads. And then my team and I, we kind of do like a daily huddle. So we went through the statistics every day and then look for anything that's not good, and then we kind of improve it immediately.
Perfect.
I think that's what contributes to the improvement.
So guys, if you listen to this would be looking at numbers, tracking it, having a lot of different variations, having Facebook do the heavy lifting to decide which angles. And by the way, like what you mentioned, what you heard Cindy say, it's not all going to be a home run. And that's why utilizing different hooks and headlines is crucial in order to constantly test, to combat ad fatigue, and also constantly find winners and create more variations around the winner. Okay, so okay, very nice. And then based on the winning variation, was there some sort of commonality or thing that you found, hey, typically when I use this or say this, it seems to work better? Was there something that you discovered, or is it something you're still testing? What would you say?
Yes, actually. So we also talked to our closer who did the strategy call. So we asked him like, what's the biggest pain point that these people are facing, these agents are facing. So they are saying, like he's saying that biggest issue is with the appointment rate and also with the follow-up rate. Yeah, so like they are having difficulty doing follow-up because they keep on using the same follow-up strategy again and again, and sometimes it kind of piss off the customer. So like they don't know how to proceed. So because of that, they couldn't even ask customers out for a showroom appointment.
Okay, I would like all of you to write this down. Okay, write this first word down. Write down specificity. Okay, now if you listen to what Cindy mentioned, Cindy says, right, the thing that really worked, that decreased the cost per lead, was when she was brainstorming with the team, the different angles, and one particular pain point is, the show-up rate. Right? The show-up rate is low. They're all utilizing similar methods to determine show-up. Now, this is where, when it comes to the pain of Hell Island, the more specific you are with the description, the higher the engagement or conversion will be. Okay, how do you do that? Now, one of the biggest difference between pretty good and the world's best and legendary is their ability to really describe and pinpoint their pain. Okay, so let me give you an example. if let's say I am speaking to a group of Facebook ad managers, and whether it's through a Facebook Live, whether it's through a list, whether it's through social media, vision of Heaven Island means, would you like to be able to build profitable Facebook ads? Okay, that's vision of Heaven Island, right? That's what everybody says. Pain of Hell Island is basically, is your Facebook ad campaigns losing money, right? That's broad pain. Now, while that is a good starting point, if you want to take things even further, it is to go deeper into the specificity. So this would be something like, did your Facebook ad account recently get shut down? Is your Facebook relevancy score under a 6? Are your ad campaigns profitable when you're spending $100 a day, but when you try to scale it to $1,000 a day, everything just breaks? Now, this, when you say something like that, it's not going to be applicable to everybody. Okay, not everybody's spending $100 a day on Facebook ads. But to the person that is qualified, to the person that meets the criteria, to the person that's nodding their head, to the person that got recently shut down in Facebook ads, to the person that is reaching ad fatigue, and if they're nodding their head and they're qualified, it also tells them that, hey, you know what? The fact that Islam said this in this email tells me this email's for me. Because it's not the broad, would you like to be able to make money with Facebook ads? Right? That's what everybody says. But when you are specific, right, with that messaging, that's when a person is going, oh man, yeah, I want to be able to know how to scale my ad campaign. It's profitable $100, but $1,000 it breaks. Okay. So this is when and why, when you have hooks that is specific, especially when it's a pain point specific, it performs better. So the first assignment, in fact, I think this is a great practice for all of you, is to just start getting practice on a specific pain point. Right? We haven't even started the hot seat yet, but I'm already seeing a lot of different angles that all of you can benefit from. Okay. Now, so how can you make it good? How can you make a pain point good? Okay. The first one, and again, this is where, yes, AI helps. AI helps with the ideation, with the headlines, but you still need to be able to feed AI the input to begin with. Okay. So yes, the input can still be, can you give me the top 10 struggles, fears, frustrations of target audience? But here's what AI also needs to do next, or you need to prompt AI to do next. The next thing you need to do is to really think about somebody that is having that pain point and visualize the emotion, what they see, what they feel, what they hear, what they think. That is how you really go deep. One of the earliest copywriting formulas that I ever learned from Dan Kennedy, I would say now this is like 15 years ago now. He said it's always to present the problem and then to agitate it, right? Make the problem worse, right? Before you have some sort of solution. Now for an ad, it's something similar. When you want to agitate the problem, you want to think about having them relive that fear or struggle or problem. So let's utilize a few different examples. Okay. So for those of you, let's say you are in social media, right? You're an agency and you want to be able to help your clients with social media content creation. Okay. Rather than just saying, do you struggle with creating social media content? Right? That's broad pain. Okay. Broad pain, remember, it's never going to be as engaging with specificity. Right? Specificity, what is that? Painting the picture, painting the scenario. Please write down scenario, context, environment, right? What would that look like? So this would be, have you ever woke up in the morning wanting to make a social media post, and as you are staring at that blinking cursor, you are now 5 minutes in and you still haven't written a word, right? Now, what's the descriptor here? It is basically staring at the blinking cursor, right? Now that's powerful. How many of you here, by a show of hands, you've stared at the blinking cursor before and you didn't know how to write that first one? Right, show of hands, right? Type in me in the chat if that has ever happened to you. Okay? Because Jay, Alan, Sean, Keith, Aslan, YH, Heather, Cassandra, right? So now, when you're able to describe that, that's when an audience is going, oh man, yeah, that has happened to me before. Right? The odds of them resonating with that is a lot more powerful than you struggle with writing social media content. So This is where I would like you to describe by using what they think, what they feel, what they hear, what they see, right? Utilize the different senses that they might have as they are going through that thing. You know what? I've actually never done this before, but I think, right, in all of the times of us doing this thing, I've never had, I explain something and then we practice it straight away. It's typically towards the end, but I think this is something that will be a great exercise for us to carry through before we actually even do the hot seats. But I would like you to practice this. Why? Because when you get good at this, you'll be able to do it again and again. Remember, all of our sessions here, it's not about me just feeding you the answers. I could give you the information, but if you don't practice, if you don't apply, if you don't implement, it's going to mean absolutely nothing. Okay. So to help you get clarity, what you're going to do is you're going to explain to your friends in your group as though this is an email, as though this is a Facebook ad, as though this is a social media post, and really describe the pain point your audience is facing. And try not to be broad about it. Try to be specific. What are they saying? How do they feel? What are the people around them doing? Are they at home? Are they at the office? Are they holding on? Are they looking at their phones? Right? What type of scenario would that typically be in?
Well, I hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes to this coaching call. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below what your biggest takeaway is. And as always, be sure to smash the like button. It does help the channel out a little bit. And to subscribe to this channel if you want to be notified of future videos just like this one. Now, some of you asking me, how can I be part of this process? How can I ask you questions? How can I have you coach me or mentor me? We want to make sure that we are working with the people that's the right fit. You'll need to fill up a form. There's a link right below this video. Somebody on my team might give you a call to interview you to see if they're right fit for each other. And if you want to apply and see if you're a good fit, then all you need to do is click on this link in the description box below and my team will be in touch with you.